Your Excellency, President of the European Parliament, our dear partner, Martin Schulz. Your Excellency, Prime Minister of the Republic of Greece, holder of the Presidency of the European Union, our dear friend, Antonis Samaras. Your Excellencies, members of European Parliament, Holocaust survivors, leaders of European Jewish communities, and our dear guest today in Europe, our colleague, Ambassador Roland Lauder. I have to deliver you a very sad message. On Friday, passed away the wife, friend of our dear colleague, the Speaker of Israeli Knesset, Yuli Edelstein, Tanya. For many years, Yuli was our dear partner in this very ceremony. Today, we are missing him. On behalf of our gathering, we send Mr. Edelstein our deepest condolences, great respect, and support. We have gathered here today in the capital of Europe to remember the darkest time for the human race, a time when human beings lost their humanity, a time when evil and hate dominated the world, and a time when Europe became the world's greatest graveyard. This was not only a graveyard for 6 million Jews, not only for 1 million Roma, not only for many other millions of civilians and soldiers, but also was a graveyard of morality for all of Europe, where brotherhood, freedom, and all the most basic of human values lay cast away alongside the physical victims. From the ruins of this graveyard, from ashes of death, however, sprang forth a new life, new Jewish life, in the shape of many Jewish communities, preserving and maintaining their unique and ancient beliefs and traditions, and which are represented here tonight by many of their leaders gathered under the umbrella of the European Jewish Congress. A new Europe, too, was born from these ashes in 1945, and we witness it here in the shape of European Union. My dear, dear friend, President Schulz, it is right and proper that we are hosting this event here on your initiative and your patronage, and we thank you for this important gesture. We remember the people, the communities, the life and thoughts, but we are also pledged to remember and never forget their legacy and the lessons of the Shoah. Next year, we will come together to mark 70 years since the liberation of Auschwitz. But are we truly liberated? Are Jews liberated today in the European society where they feel secure and safe as they identify themselves as Jews in the streets of Europe? The serious study conducted by the Fundamental Rights Agency of the European Union, published just a few months ago, demonstrates that the majority of European Jews feel unsafe in today's Europe, and over 75% feel that anti-Semitism has increased dramatically over the last 5 years. Are our European citizens truly liberated from the hate and intolerance that led to Auschwitz. 70 years after Auschwitz, who could imagine representatives of the parties with Nazi insignia, race hatred for Jews, and tendency to violence marching down the streets of our capitals and into our parliamentary chambers, including this very respected one? As we commemorate the destruction of the Jewish communities in Greece and Hungary just 70 years ago, how liberated really are the citizens of Europe when we witness today the eruption of Nazi political parties in the streets of Athens and Budapest, while genuinely fear the very real prospect of strengthening the ultra-right parties in the coming European elections. The European Jewish Congress is therefore proud to be here today with Prime Minister Samaras, who has demonstrated his courageous leadership in fighting these evil forces in his own country, and his leadership should serve as a model for the entire European continent. But don't let us be mistaken that all our enemies always talk like their Nazi predecessors. Today, we also witness the absolute democratization of the anti-Semitism, exactly like it was in dark 30s in Germany. A simple, inversed Nazi salute can be performed with impunity at Auschwitz, at the Berlin Holocaust Memorial, at the synagogue, and even in front of the Jewish school in Toulouse, where Jewish children and a teacher were murdered in broad daylight by the French terrorist. A symbol invented by so-called comedian to allow nice kids on holiday, young people out of drink, soldiers having a laugh, and even a footballer scoring a goal to have their own unique opportunity for hating Jews. Anti-Semitism that allows anyone, anytime, anywhere to have a platform for expressing their hatred of the Jewish people. The legacy of the Shoah is that we must never be complacent towards these dangerous trends which threaten our democracies. We must act on time before it's too late. That is why we welcome and applaud the courage of the government of French Republic, its President François Hollande and Interior Minister Manuel Valls, for their decision to apply the full force of the law to banish hate. No, the Holocaust is not a matter of satire. No, anti-Semitism is not an opinion. It should be treated as a crime. So is the denial over the Shoah. 70 years is a lifespan, the span of direct memory. The memory will become history soon. Lessons which can no longer be heard directly will need to be enshrined and taught. We must be vigilant to preserve this history and its lessons. Up to now, the main lessons of Shoah and World War II in general are not learned, and it's a very sad conclusion. But the Bible says that when Noah came out of the ark after the great flood, God showed him a beautiful spectrum of colors of the rainbow as a promise that whenever the rainbow will appear in the sky, mankind will be saved from such a great flood. We, European Jewish Congress, are gathering today with the European institutions for the 10th time, starting in 2005 in Auschwitz and Krakow. Next year, we are going to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the victory of Allied forces against Nazi and liberation of Auschwitz. During coming year, we have to prepare the humanity and European society a proposal and a message. How we see today, being under the pressure of dramatic anti-Semitism all over Europe, proliferation of nuclear weapon out of legal field, uncontrolled migration, violence coming from closed ethnic communities, we have to formulate how modify the main paradigm of the 21st century to make Europe more secure and prosperous. We see it, as we talked many times before in this auditorium, as a paradigm of secure tolerance. We see it as an essential development of legal field, and in order to make a proper startup of it, we have to convene the International Forum of Civil Society on 27th of January 2015, exactly in 1 year, under the umbrella of the most important European institutions, included, of course, Russia and United States. The task is very challenging because we have to teach the 21st century generation the parameters of tolerance and security which we, the residents of the 20th century, do not know properly. But we have to, because for all of us, old and young, it is a mutual ticket for future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Moshe Kantor.